Okay, so today we're here to debate that the California minimum wage should not increase. My first significance claim to back this up is that the loss of 500,000 jobs can be avoided by maintaining the minimum wage. Aristotle said that ordering businesses to pay entry-level workers more will make them hire few of them and consider replacing more workers with robots or computers. So if these places don't want to pay for these people, they're going to go to more automatic type style because they can pay for one machine and then they have it forever. They don't have to pay any more wages. Kevin Hassett also said that people who keep their jobs get more money, and those who lose their jobs or fail to get new ones suffer. So we're only thinking of this increase of people who are saying, yeah, we're going to get this extra $4 an hour. There's also people that lose their jobs or lose their hours because of this wage increase, and they're not benefiting from that at all. Gary Wolfram also said that increasingly restaurants and retailers are following recent trends. Again, you order at a kiosk, you pick up your own food at the counter and scan your own bags and items. So with this minimum wage increase, we don't need these workers. Everything again will be automated. We can do it ourselves. My second significance claim is that increasing the minimum wage is a terrible idea because it leaves out or negatively affects the most vulnerable and poor individuals and businesses. In the article Pros and Cons of Raising Minimum Wage, raising the minimum wage without EITC, which is like the tax returns we get, upgrades would help many families, but not necessarily the poorest. Many minimum wage workers are secondary earners with support from primary breadwinners who make a good deal more than they do. So we can see that these wages aren't even going to the people who need it most. They're just going to this secondary earner and their family. It's not really supporting the family, not going where it needs to. Lydia DePillis said that company owners are very concerned about the marketability of their product, and they don't want to be a poster child for poor working conditions. So even though businesses don't want to pay their workers more, they're going to have to because they don't want to be that one standout business that says, we only pay our workers 11 still and now it's 15. Like, they're going to be seen as unfair, and they don't want to look like that in the public. Again, pros and cons of raising the minimum wage. Corporations may outsource more jobs to countries with lower or non-existent minimum wage standards. So if they can have something made for 10 cents an hour somewhere else, they're going to do that instead of having to pay $15 for someone here to make it. It's cheaper for them and it's easier. My inherency claim is that the federal minimum wage is $7.25 per hour, and California's minimum wage is already $11. The section 1182.12 of the California Labor Code says that for any employer who employs 25 or less employees, the minimum wage will continue to increase. As I said, this year it's 2011. I mean, it's 11 per hour. In 2020, it's going to be 12 per hour, and by 2023, it's going to be $15 an hour. So you see that yearly dollar increase. Gary Wolfram says, suppose we increase the minimum wage to $300 per hour. Do you really think that most of us would keep our jobs? No, because there'd be no incentive for employers to keep us. Now you think $300, obviously that's ridiculous, but there is a limit where we have to set it, where it's going to be too much and employers won't be able to pay people that, or they won't want to. So again, they're going to get rid of their workers. Veronique DeRugi says the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office also calculated that an increase in the federal minimum wage from its current level, $7.25, to just $10.10 per hour would cost about 500,000 jobs. And that's only at $10.10. Right now we're at 11, and we want to go up to 15, so we could probably see even more job losses because of that. And that's not helping people at all. We're trying to give them more money, and now they're losing their jobs. My solvency claim is that raising the minimum wage will not solve the poverty and inequality in California. Veronique DeRugi says when you raise the minimum wage, you can point to someone whose earnings just get a boost, whereas it's difficult to see the negative effects on workers who couldn't get jobs or who saw their hours cut because of the policy. Again, they're not the ones benefiting from this, the people who really need it. And Kevin Hassett said the unemployment rate for African American teenagers stands at a staggeringly high 43%, For white teenagers, the unemployment rate is 22%. And a little more than 11% of workers older than 25 and without a high school diploma are unemployed. So we can see that there's more white individuals employed, and so this increase is going to them, not the people who need it, not the minorities or the people who need that extra money. And also the people that are older and they're unemployed, they also need that money and they're not getting it. Gary Wolfram said it means that instead of politicians deciding what the wage should be, they focus on improving our education and job training system so that the one young man has just as much to offer a company as anybody else. If they're able to get better education, they can get a better job, and this leads to them going up the job ladder. And with more job training, same thing, they're able to earn a greater wage and they don't have to be stuck in their minimum wage job.